안녕하십니까, 정철입니다. 정철의 요셉이야기 영어로 통독 암송 126번째 시간입니다. 말씀은 제니시스 42-35 창세기 42장 35절 말씀입니다. 자, 이 정철의 AD 영어학습법 다 읽어보셨죠? 읽어보셨으면은요, 이 읽어보신 그 독후감을 댓글에다 좀 올려주세요. 꼼꼼하게 제가 다 읽어보겠습니다. 아시겠죠? 아직 그 주문을 못하신 분은 이 댓글창 첫 번째 보면은 인터넷 서점이 몇 개가 올라가 있어요. 그래서 그걸 눌러서 주문하시면 됩니다. 아시겠죠? 자, 다 함께 구호 외치고 시작하기로 하죠. 준비, 시작. 성령 충만 영어 능통 와. 자, 지난 시간의 말씀을 보면은 But 그러나 bring your youngest brother to me. 막내 동생을 나에게 데리고 오라. So I will know. 내가 알 수 있도록 뭐를? That you are not spies but honest men. 너희들이 스파이가 아니라 honest man, 정직한 사람이라는 걸 내가 알 수 있도록 데리고 오너라. Then 그러면 I'll give your brother back to you. 너희의 brother를 되돌려 주겠다. And 그리고 you can trade in the land. 이 땅에서 교역을 할 수 있으리라. 자, 그 다음 들어볼까요?
As they were emptying their sacks, there in each man's sack was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened.
자, 점점 재밌어져요.
As they were emptying their sacks,
As they were emptying their sacks. 그들이 이 as 그러면은 이게 무슨 뜻일까 하고 당황하시는 분들이 있는데 as는 여러 가지로 쓰여요. 이 어원이 same에서 나온 거거든. 그래서 그 같은 시간에 그때 하는데 또는 뭐 하면서 이런 등등의 여러 가지 뜻이에요. 그래서 as they were emptying their sacks 그들의 자루를 emptying, 비우고 자루를 이렇게 붓는 거지. 그 안에서 곡식을 잔뜩 담아 갖고 왔으니까. 그거를 붓고 있는데 그런 말이에요. 여기서 잠깐 유의할 것이 이 emptying 발음입니다. 이게 empty에다가 ing이 붙으니까 그냥 emptying 이렇게 발음하기가 쉬워요. emptying이 아니라 empty까지 발음할 거 다 하고 그 다음에 ing을 추가로 붙이는 거예요. 해보세요. emptying 이렇게 emptying 아시겠죠? emptying이 아니야. emptying이 아니라 emptying 들어보세요.
as they were emptying their sacks,
그렇죠?
as they were emptying their sacks,
그렇게 e로 끝나서 ing이 추가로 붙으면 그 발음 다 합니다. As they were emptying their sacks 그들의 자루들을 비우고 있을 때
there in each man's sack
there 거기에 in each man's sack 각자의 자루 안에
was his pouch of silver.
was his pouch of silver. each man의 sack에 his pouch of silver. 각자의 자루 안에 각자의 실버, 은화가 들어있었어요. 그래서 이제 뭐 요만한 주머니에다가 은화를 담아가지고 갖고 갔었나 봐. 그 곡식값으로. 그게 파우치예요. 보통 이렇게 묶어갖고 여기 은화를 여기다 담아 놓잖아. 이게 파우치예요. His pouch of silver. 그 색 안에 보니까 은화 주머니가, 돈 주머니가 들어있는 거예요. 얼마나 놀랬겠어요. 반응이 어땠을까? 야, 돈 생겼다 이랬을까요? 어땠을까요?
When they and their father saw the money pouches,
When they and their father 그들과 그들의 아버지가 saw the money pouches 돈 주머니를 보았을 때
they were frightened.
They were frightened. 그들은 frightened. 놀라서 겁에 질렸어요. 겁에 질린 게 frightened예요. They were frightened. 이크 큰일 났다. 뭐 돈을 받으면 좋아해야 되는데 왜 frightened가 됐을까요? 돈 줘 안 주고 곡식만 집어왔다 그러니까 도둑질을 한 거 아니에요. 그죠? 돈 안 내고 도둑질 한 걸로 오인을 받을까 봐 어이구 이 돈이 여기 왜 있어? 돈도 안 내고 우리가 곡식을 뭐 바리바리 싸서 나귀에다 싣고 왔네. 이제 거기 붙들려 있는 시므온은 죽었다. 이제 이렇게 된 거야. 그래서 they were frightened. 놀래서 겁에 질렸어요. 이게 이제 이 조셉이 머리를 꽤 많이 쓴 거예요. 조셉은 자기 깐에는 어떤 생각으로 했을까요? 아이고, 형제들한테 돈을 받기는 뭘 받아, 도로 집어넣어. 이제 그런 생각으로 했을지 모르는데, 이거는 아주 겁에 확 질린 거야. 야, 이제 붙들려 있는 시므온은 죽었다. 우리가 돈도 안 내고 갔으니까, 돈도 안 내고 갔다고 지금 아마 이집트에선 난리가 났을걸? 뭐 등등 이렇게 된 거지. 자, 한 번 더.
As they were emptying their sacks,
As they were emptying their sacks, 그들의 자루를 비우고 있을 때,
there in each man's sack
그 안에, each man's sack 안에
was his pouch of silver.
was his pouch of silver. 은전 주머니가 들어있던 거예요.
When they and their father saw the money pouches,
그들과 그들의 아버지가 써던 money pouches, money pouch를 보았을 때,
they were frightened.
they were frightened. 그들은 frightened. 놀래서 겁에 질렸습니다. 들어볼까요?
As they were emptying their sacks, there in each man's sack was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened.
한 번 더.
As they were emptying their sacks, there in each man's sack was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened.
따라해 볼까요?
As they were emptying their sacks, there in each man's sack was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened.
한 번 더.
As they were emptying their sacks, there in each man's sack was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened.
shadowing.
As they were emptying their sacks, there in each man's sack was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened.
한 번 더.
As they were emptying their sacks, there in each man's sack was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened.
한 번 더.
As they were emptying their sacks, there in each man's sack was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened.
재밌죠? 엄지척 좋아요 눌러서 추천해 주시고, 아직도 구독 중이 아닌 상태로 듣고 계신 분은 구독을 눌러서 구독 중으로 바꿔주시고, 그 다음에 공유를 눌러서 이 좋은 강좌를 아직도 모르고 계시는 분들에게 강의 동영상을 보내주시기 바랍니다. 자, 그럼 라이팅크까지 꼼꼼하게 다 하시고 약 10분간 반복 낭송해서 입에서 보들보들 유창하게 나오도록 연습해 두시기 바랍니다. 자, 그러면 10계명을 함께 낭송하도록 하죠. The Ten Commandments. 1. You shall have no other gods before me. 2. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything, and you shall not bow down to them or worship them. 3. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. 4. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 5. Honor your father and your mother. 6. You shall not murder. 7. You shall not commit adultery. 8. You shall not steal. 9. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. 10. You shall not covet your neighbor's belongings.
Joseph's brothers go to Egypt. When Jacob learned that there was grain in Egypt, he said to his sons, "Why do you just keep looking at each other?" He continued, "I have heard that there is grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy some for us, so that we may live and not die." Then 10 of Joseph's brothers went down to buy grain from Egypt. But Jacob did not send Benjamin, Joseph's brother, with the others, because he was afraid that harm might come to him. So Israel's sons were among those who went to buy grain, for there was famine in the land of Canaan also. Now Joseph was the governor of the land, the person who sold grain to all its people. So when Joseph's brothers arrived, they bowed down to him with their faces to the ground. As soon as Joseph saw his brothers, he recognized them, but he pretended to be a stranger and spoke harshly to them. "Where do you come from?" he asked. "From the land of Canaan," they replied, "to buy food." Although Joseph recognized his brothers, they did not recognize him. Then he remembered his dreams about them and said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see where our land is unprotected." "No, my lord," they answered. "Your servants have come to buy food. We are all the sons of one man. Your servants are honest men, not spies." "No," he said to them, "you have come to see where our land is unprotected." But they replied, "Your servants were 12 brothers, the sons of one man, who lives in the land of Canaan. The youngest is now with our father, and one is no more." Joseph said to them, "It is just as I told you. You are spies, and this is how you will be tested. As surely as Pharaoh lives, you will not leave this place unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of your number to get your brother. The rest of you will be kept in prison, so that your words may be tested to see if you are telling the truth. If you are not, then as surely as Pharaoh lives, you are spies." And he put them all in custody for 3 days. On the 3rd day, Joseph said to them, "Do this, and you will live, for I fear God. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers stay here in prison, while the rest of you go and take grain back for your starving households. But you must bring your youngest brother to me, so that your words may be verified, and that you may not die." This they proceeded to do. They said to one another, "Surely we are being punished because of our brother. We saw how distressed he was when he pleaded with us for his life, but we would not listen. That's why this distress has come on us." Reuben replied, "Didn't I tell you not to sin against the boy? But you wouldn't listen. Now we must give an accounting for his blood." They did not realize that Joseph could understand them, since he was using an interpreter. He turned away from them and began to weep, but then came back and spoke to them again. He had Simeon taken from them and bound before their eyes. Joseph gave orders to fill their bags with grain, to put each man's silver back in his sack, and to give them provisions for their journey. After this was done for them, they loaded their grain on their donkeys and left. At the place where they stopped for the night, one of them opened his sack to get feed for his donkey, and he saw his silver in the mouth of his sack. "My silver has been returned," he said to his brothers. "Here it is in my sack." Their hearts sank, and they turned to each other trembling, and said, "What is this that God has done to us?" When they came to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan, they told him all that had happened to them. They said, "The man who is lord over the land spoke harshly to us, and treated us as though we were spying on the land. But we said to him, 'We are honest men, we are not spies. We were 12 brothers, sons of one father. One is no more, and the youngest is now with our father in Canaan.' Then the man who is lord over the land said to us, 'This is how I will know whether you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me, and take food for your starving households, and go. But bring your youngest brother to me, so I will know that you are not spies, but honest men. Then I will give your brother back to you, and you can trade in the land." As they were emptying their sacks, there, in each man's sack, was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened.